that's a huge problem with like um a lot of businesses right now is like the debt factor, because it's like you're paying back all the investors, all the debt. It's not just like do good business, pay people, and make profit, right? It's like, okay, you do business, whether it's good or not, shady is now allowed. You barely have to pay people that much. You just make sure that they have something, and um, profit, kind of profit, because you're still paying back a lot of the money to the investors and everything. And then you got finally, yeah, paying back all the investors, all the debt and all that. And so that's like taking the bottom line and turning it into like a bottom dip. Yo, what's up? We got a video today. Why everything feels like a scam now, according to Nicole. This is a new person on the channel. We haven't watched any of her videos yet. Let's go ahead and check out how Nicole thinks everything is a scam now. I wonder. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Yeah.
Confident in saying that
Ooh,
I'm
that's
not the
loud.
only one who's noticed that
Ooh, that's loud.
almost
We're
everything
turning
kind
this
of
down.
feels like a scam lately. Like everywhere you go, people are just trying to take your money by any means necessary. There's
Any
a
means
saying that
necessary.
capitalism breeds innovation, and I do believe there was a time when that was true, but nowadays I'm not
It's
so
like
convinced.
4:50 p.m.,
Like,
but we
it
got
used to be that if you wanted to make a
some
lot of
eggs
money,
and pizza.
you had to solve a problem or provide some sort of value to the public. Doing so is how companies would establish themselves and build a trustworthy reputation and brand loyalty with their customers. But those days are long gone, and
I
now we're
don't think they're
living
gone, but I
in what
think
I've
it's
started calling
diluted.
the grift economy. In the grift
Hey,
economy, no one is really playing the long game anymore. No one
Loki.
is interested in providing true value, and reputation is basically meaningless. It's all about squeezing every possible dollar out of every possible person at every possible moment, and providing as little as possible in return. Typically, using tactics that are
Loki.
manipulative at best and completely exploitative at worst.
Loki.
Somehow, we've gotten to a point where nearly every facet of life is a transaction that benefits someone else more than it benefits you. Like, you can sign up for a subscription service in under a minute, but you have to jump through endless hoops, making phone calls and emails when the
To
time comes that
cancel
you
it.
want to cancel. You order takeout and end up paying $30 for an $8 sandwich
A
thanks
bunch
to
of
service
takers, man.
fees and delivery charges and tips. And if your $30 sandwich is shitty, which realistically it probably will be, well, sucks to suck. That's your problem. You buy clothing and it disintegrates after
She's
two
funny.
washes. You're pressured to tip
Disintegrates. I
$2
didn't
on a
know that.
$7 coffee that's only worth $1 to begin with. You pay $50 in convenience
Oh.
fees for buying concert tickets online. And hey, did you hear that Netflix is increasing their prices by yet another dollar per month? And whatever you do, don't miss out on the once in a lifetime chance to own an NFT of a meme of a. Never mind. Over time, there has been a very deliberate shift in how businesses view consumers. What used to be a symbiotic relationship where money was
turned into
exchanged
you're
for
a money bag.
value is now just a race to the bottom funded by suckers, and all of
Yeah.
us are the suckers.
Money
Yeah.
can be exchanged for goods
See
and
who can
services.
get in the most and then get out as fast as possible. That's low-key what it's been feeling. I'm not gonna lie. Hold on a second. Let me I'll be right back. 2 minutes. Actually, hold on. Let me just get up and get this little thing real quick. I spilled like some pizza sauce on my shirt, man. Wait. Oh yeah. Good thing we got these little wipes, you know. Yeah, let's put some pizza sauce on my shirt, but that's a no bueno, no bueno, no bueno. Yeah, I figure I'll just take care of it now so that I don't have to like take care of the shirt, let it like accumulate like bugs or anything like while I'm up here. Just like wipe it off real quick. And we should be good. And it won't like stain or anything. I've never spilled anything on this shirt. This is like a random like Walmart shirt, so it's not that important. But like, still, I do like to keep them nice. You know, I don't want to like just let them go to crap just because they were cheap. You know what I mean? It's like you take care of everything the same way. You know. Okay. Whoa. Here we go. Okay, where were we? Oh yeah. Why the grift economy is bad. People just out here scamming. Get in, get out. Get in, get out with your money. And then point fingers.
Money was exchanged for
Deny.
value is now just a race to the bottom funded by suckers, and all of us are the suckers.
Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Hey.
Go up!
You know how I said that companies used to have to solve a problem or provide some sort of genuine value to make money? Well, the clever workaround the clever workaround that they found is that they can just create a problem and then turn around and sell you the solution. Isn't that awesome? Planned obsolescence is obviously
like the,
old news, but
gender
it's
wars.
more rampant now than ever. Companies have figured out that if they make things
Gender
shittier,
wars
make
is
them
low-key
break
that.
faster, and make them nearly impossible or at least cost prohibitive to repair,
Sell a course.
people will have no choice but to
uh,
just keep buying them again and again. Do it
buying
enough
the fear.
times and it becomes normalized. And now we buy $1,500 smartphones that we expect to replace every 2 to 3 years. But do you know what's even better than a shitty overpriced product that's made to break? A shitty overpriced product that's made to break and that requires a monthly subscription in order for you just to use it. That way, you can pay over and over again to replace the thing when it dies and pay every month until then just to use it. Sounds reasonable. I mean, why screw someone once when you can just screw them again and again and again? It sounds like something Bill Cosby would say. To be clear, I'm not totally against subscription services. Like, I think it makes perfect sense to pay on an ongoing basis when you're getting an ongoing service, but that's just not the case for your printer or your heated car seats or your frickin' doorbell. Do you remember when social media first became a thing?
Oh yeah, Rings is
MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, they were platforms that were meant to
Subscribe to
connect you
life.
with your friends and family. You could use them to meet new people who were into the same things that you were into. They used to provide value, but now social media is almost exclusively
I think it still
advertisements. And
But
I'm
it is a
not
lot of
even really
advertisements.
sure why we still use it, to be honest, because for every one post you might see from someone that you know, someone that you've actually chosen to follow, you're likely going to see 4 to 5 to maybe even 10 ads from
Ads.
companies that you've never even heard of yelling at you to let you know that there is supposedly a bigger, better, nicer version of everything, and you need it. This t-shirt fits better than any t-shirt you've ever worn before. These are the softest underwear in the entire world. This is the greatest cookware ever invented. This is the only case that will protect your phone from a drop. This shampoo will change your f***ing life. What you have right now is trash, so buy what we're selling. Spend, 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 consume, consume, consume. Once again,
Nah, tell it
these are
like it is,
problems
bro.
that I don't really think exist. I don't think many people are sitting around on an everyday basis fixating on how soft their underwear is. And I'm even less
Like this,
convinced
it's
that
nice, don't
some
get me
random
wrong.
company that no one's
But it
ever
is
heard of
excessive.
happens to make the greatest t-shirt in the world.
It's literally like
But if they can
every other
convince you
second.
that there's something better to be had, then maybe you'll give them your money. And hey, if word gets out that their product is actually crap, well, they can just pull the plug, disappear off the face of the earth, and start over
Declare
under a brand new name, just like that. Oh yeah, and a lot of these companies are also subscriptions because of course they are. What do you mean you don't want $70 worth of shampoo auto-billed to your credit card every month? Don't worry though, you can always cancel, if you can even figure out how to. I think that the popularity of companies like Temu and Shein really highlight how normalized the grift economy has become. Because chances are that if Temu was a brick and mortar store and you went in looking for something, for anything really, you'd most likely
walk
leave
out.
without buying anything at all when you
Yeah.
realized that the quality of their products is
It's so
somehow
low.
even worse than what you'd find at a dollar store. So
Yo,
even at
that's
the
a
low
good
prices,
point.
it's just not worth it. But because they're online, you're shopping blindly, relying only on a bunch of product reviews that are very likely manipulated, if not entirely fabricated. And then you get your $20 worth of lead painted baby toys or whatever in the mail and realize that, surprise, they're trash. But what are you going to do about it? Are you going to spend money to mail it back to China for a refund? Probably not. So they've just sold you
Probably spent
$20
more on
worth
the
of
shipping than you
asbestos
did
and
on the
fire
item.
hazards, and there's nothing you can do.
That's not enough. We demand more asbestos! More asbestos! More asbestos!
Congratulations, you've been grifted. Fast fashion operates under the exact same model where they know that they can sell you something that is literal garbage, but if the price is low enough, you won't care enough to complain. Do this to a few 100 million people, and before you know it, you've gotten rich, selling actual trash. But
Yeah.
what I think is even worse than cheap, crappy companies selling cheap, crappy clothing is the bait and switch of companies who initially used to sell a quality product at a fair price and then gradually increase their prices while decreasing the quality of their products, all in hopes that no one would notice. It used to be that the term fast fashion referred to stores like H&M and Forever 21 and Zara, like stores that are known specifically for
H&M
being
and
really
Zara were
cheap.
fast
But
fashion.
now you'd be hard pressed to find a single store in any mall at any price point selling something that isn't fast fashion.
That's quality.
Everything is fast fashion now,
don't know
even the
about that.
brands that used to be considered decent. Levi's is fast fashion,
You
Uniqlo
sure?
is fast fashion,
I haven't-
the Gap is fast fashion. All the
Actually,
department
you know what, maybe
stores
she's
sell
right. She
almost
probably goes
exclusively
shopping
fast
more than I
fashion.
do. I go shopping
Guess
maybe once
sells
every couple
jeans for
years.
over $200, and guess what? They're still fast
And just
fashion.
replace the whole
I think I'm
thing.
going to make an entire video
Or
about fast fashion soon, so let me know below if
certain
that's something you'd be
articles.
interested in. Now, we couldn't talk about the grift economy without talking about one of the most nefarious types of grifters around, data
that?
brokers. Data brokers make a
Oh, data
fortune
brokers.
buying and selling your personal
she
information.
was about to say
Things like
dating
your full
coaches.
name, address, and
It
phone number,
rhymes.
where you work, your medical and legal history, your political affiliations, all sorts of things that should be private, but they make this information available to basically anyone. We're obviously living in very politically charged times right now. So imagine making a comment online and pissing off someone who has like a screw or two loose in their head, who then decides to Google you and find out where you
And
live
dox
or
you.
work and come after you.
And pull up
It sounds
and
crazy,
snipe you.
but it happens
is.
a lot. This is why I've
Yeah.
been personally using today's sponsor, Delete Me, for the last
I
year
knew it.
to help keep
I
my
knew
privacy
it was a
intact.
sponsor. I knew it. You didn't catch me. You didn't catch me because you started talking about data brokers a little too professionally.
Me safe while I partake in my favorite pastime, rattling
W
cages.
you though, get your
Delete
money.
Me works on an
Wait, what'd she
ongoing
say?
me
Her
safe
favorite
while I
pastime?
partake in my favorite pastime, rattling cages.
Oh, rattling
Shouldn't
cages
be,
is crazy.
and then have everything they found and removed to join the consumer plan, convincing you calls 6 months. Learn a few boo-boo nowadays because I've still been called
that-
a little with Funko
did I
Pops
miss it?
that no one will keep calls,
this just
but
fast?
Amanda's
Is this a
high
quick
and
ad?
availability to grift us. Code and privacy as
Was
much as
that
I
ad
care
that
about
quick?
mine. Head over to joindeleteme.com
Oh,
slash
wow,
Nicole
that
or
was
scan this QR code and use the code Nicole to get 20% off your
All right,
US
Nicole, I
consumer
see
plan.
you.
Another way that companies like
was
to grift
quick.
us is with manufactured scarcity. By convincing you that demand is high and availability is
excuse
low,
me.
not only are you more likely to buy on impulse, but you'll probably be willing to spend more when you do, even
Mm.
if what you're buying is a turd that no one will care about in 6 months. We saw
Mm.
this with Stanley Cups, we saw this with Funko Pops, and as I actually just learned a few days
kinda
ago,
like
there's a
Funko
new
Pops.
piece of crap on the market called a Labubu. I'm not even really sure
Labubu.
what the hell a
Yeah, I don't
Labubu
know
is,
what
but
that
I
is.
promise you that you don't need one. Actually, I heard that word for the first time a few days ago, and I swear to God, I thought that it was a euphemism for a labia, and I was like, oh, is that what we're calling it nowadays? Because I've still been calling mine a hoo-ha, but I guess
That's
if you want to
crazy.
have your Labubu bedazzled, be my guest. Apparently,
That's
it's just a
crazy.
stupid toy. But yeah, FOMO leads to impulse spending. We all know that. But you
Culture.
can't spend what you don't have, right? As
Wrong.
if.
Buy now,
Buy
pay
now,
later.
pay later, bitches.
Yep.
Just another way to grift you into spending money you don't have on shit you don't need. Oh my god, there are going to be people out there going into debt, buying Labubus with Klarna. They probably already are. And of course, we couldn't talk about fake scarcity and speculative value without acknowledging the wildest pump and dump of our lifetime, cryptocurrency and NFTs. What Stanley Cups were to bottle blonde Mormon housewives, NFTs were to basement-dwelling alt-right neckbeards. Something completely valueless for them to wet their pants over, all in hopes that owning one would make them look special. And yeah, it did.
Well, no,
Do
they
all
can
those
make- they
dweebs
can make you
know
some good
that
money
you
if
can
you were in early.
right-click and save any JPEG for
nowadays,
free? But okay,
a lot less
let's
opportunity.
say you're someone like me, a reasonably
Not in
conscious
crypto,
consumer
but
who
NFT.
doesn't
Crypto,
use
you always got
DoorDash
opportunities
and
in
doesn't
crypto.
pay for unwanted
You can trade crypto
subscriptions and
any month
doesn't
and
buy
still
random
profit.
crap from
Doesn't
Instagram.
matter.
Maybe you've never owned a Stanley Cup, never bought an NFT, and never got your Labubu bedazzled. You're immune to the grift economy, right? Nope. The grift goes so much further than just fads. It's ingrained in almost everything we do. Like, let's talk about tipping
Is it?
culture. Tips used to be a gratuity, a few extra bucks that you'd leave for your server at a sit-down restaurant if they went over and above to make your experience amazing. But quickly, it became a way for not just restaurants, but businesses of all types to offset their employees' pay to the public.
Yeah.
Now, everywhere we go, we get screens turned towards us to just ask us a few questions while we're guilted and shamed into paying 20 or 30% more for everything we do. Here in Toronto, we have a franchise of bakeries that sells freshly baked bagels. So you go
My legs
in,
just started
you grab a
shaking
paper
when I was
bag
sitting
and a pair of
down. I did
tongs,
leg day
and you
today.
put as many bagels in your bag as you want, and then you take them up to the register to pay. The bagels are good, don't get me wrong, but they're not cheap. They're like $11 a dozen, which I think is a lot, but fine. So I was there last week. I got a
What
dozen
did
every.
you say? $11 a dozen for what? That's not eggs. You're not talking about no eggs, bruh. What kind of eggs are you buying? Where are you? If you're talking about eggs.
We have a franchise of bakeries that sells freshly baked bagels. So you go
it's
in,
bagels, okay.
you grab a paper bag and a pair of tongs, and you put as many bagels in your bag as you want, and then you take them up to the register to pay. The bagels are good, don't get me
Where
wrong,
does she live?
but they're not cheap. They're like $11 a dozen, which I think is a lot, but fine.
$11 a dozen. That's like $1 a bagel, roughly. So like, if I'm shopping at Aldi's, right? Aldi's has like pretty good bagels. I eat them all the time. You'll see all the bagels you see me eating. I be getting those from Aldi's 90% of the time, unless I'm just like lazy and I just went to Kroger one week. But they're very good. They're like high in protein. They got good calories. No, like not a lot of like extra added, fluff and all that stuff. It's just that you get what you got, right? But their bagels are like $1.95 for like 6 of them. So like you can get a dozen of them for like $4. Which is still less than sub $5. It's goated.
So I was there last week. I got a dozen everything bagels, still warm out of the oven, brought them up to the register, and when I went to
they're
tap my
fresh
card,
made.
I was prompted to leave a tip for the
tip? For
bagels
what?
that I counted and bagged myself. The week prior, I went to see a City and Color concert, and it was
That's
amazing.
hilarious.
The tickets were $115 each, and I bought one for myself and one for my friend. Yet somehow, the order came out to $277. How'd that happen? $23 worth of service fees per
For two
ticket.
tickets.
That's
Service
$46
fees
in
per
fees
ticket is
for
so crazy.
I don't even know what,
does that
because
even
I
mean?
picked the tickets, I bought them online, I didn't.
Nah, service fees per ticket is actually crazy. Like, okay, all right, service fee for the order, right? The online order, maybe, right? You can get away with that depending on like what the back end looks like, where your tickets are coming from, and you have to ship them through whatever APIs you need to. But like, per ticket is crazy. Why are you running a business that inefficiently that you gotta tax people like that?
Interact with a single human. No one provided me with any service of any type. My God, do I hate Ticketmaster. Is there a single human alive who doesn't hate Ticketmaster? But wait, it gets
I
better,
don't hate 'em.
because just this past
I don't really
weekend,
buy
I
tickets
went to
like
another
that,
music
so.
festival out in the boonies. So picture this, okay? I
Okay.
make the drive out to nowhere, Ontario. Service fee laden tickets
Oh, yeah,
in
you're in
hand.
Canada.
These tickets were like $200, by the way. And when I finally arrive, I'm told that parking is $40. There wasn't even a parking lot. It was just $40 to park your car in a big muddy field. But
That's crazy.
fine, there's really no other choice, right? So I reach for my wallet, and I'm told, no, you can't pay here. You have to buy a parking pass online through the festival's website.
Ooh.
Seriously? So,
Oh.
okay, I pull over, I open the website on my phone, and guess what? Not only
What?
do I have to give them my contact information and agree to receive their stupid marketing emails that I definitely don't want, but the parking pass has another $13 in service and handling fees,
13?
despite there not being any service or handling involved. I don't want your spam emails. I don't want to pay a premium
That's
for the
crazy.
privilege of being forced to use your website, whether or not I even want to. I just want to leave my goddamn car in this goddamn field and go see my goddamn bands. Goddamn it! $53 for parking.
Crazy.
Honestly, this video could easily be an hour long, and I still probably couldn't cover every way that we're being constantly ripped off every day. But let's try a quick rapid fire round, shall we? There's greenwashing,
Okay.
when companies try to make their
Greenwashing,
product
what's
look
that?
all fancy and eco-friendly, so you're willing
Oh,
to pay
yeah,
more
the
for
fake
them,
ones.
thinking you're doing a good thing,
But
but
it's actually not.
no, it's all bullshit. There's shrinkflation, when the quantity or the size of a product gets smaller
Yeah,
while the
the
price
bags,
stays the same or
chips.
even increases. So like there's less chips in the bag, or the olive oil is now 3/4 of a liter instead of a full liter.
3/4 is
I
crazy,
picked up a
bro.
medium pizza last week and ate the whole thing myself in one go. A medium pizza used to feed 2 to 3 people. There's the gig economy, where massive venture capital
I don't know
backed
about
companies
that.
like Uber and Airbnb
I don't know about that. Maybe you're just small. I think you're just small. Cause like I could easily eat a medium pizza. Like any grown man, I feel like a lot of grown men can like easily eat a medium pizza, especially after like an exercise day. But it doesn't look like you're like really exercising that much, I feel like. Not that, she looks bad or anything, but like she just doesn't look like she's like that type of person to just like be in the gym.
and DoorDash make billions of dollars every year by bypassing regulations and dodging liabilities and paying
Okay.
their workers less than minimum wage while systematically offering less and less value to the public at the exact same time. Do you remember when Uber used to be way cheaper than a taxi?
Yep.
Pepperidge Farms remembers. Wasn't
Yep.
that supposed to be the whole point? That it was cheaper? But now it's not.
But it's
So
not anymore.
there
Now
are
it's just the
MLMs
same.
that lure stay-at-home moms into starting their own business for the low price of just $500, only to stick them with thousands of dollars worth of inventory that they'll never sell because, fun fact, but 99% of people who join an MLM lose money.
99 is crazy.
Yes, for real,
For real?
99%. The list of
99
everyday
is
grifts
crazy.
is truly endless, but the real question is, how did we get here? I think a lot
How
of
did
this
we?
comes down to the fact that for most of us, at least here in the Western world, we already
can't be
have
right.
everything we could ever
99 is
need and
crazy.
more. But if we all acknowledged that we don't really need anything else and mostly just stop buying stuff, this giant pyramid scheme we call the economy would collapse and we'd all be
Would
in
it?
trouble.
Honestly,
So
I
instead
feel
of
like-
redesigning the economy to fit
Nah,
the
let's
needs of
look
the
at it
people,
for a second, right? Wait, what did she about to say?
we just manipulate the needs of the people to benefit the economy.
Pretty
Yeah,
clever.
When we no longer have problems that companies can solve with their products, the only way they can continue to rake in record profits year after year is to start creating problems so they can sell us the solutions. So they do. And with that, we now
That's the
live in a
problem
world
with,
where
like-
almost everything is a scam. Pair all of that with a population of
what she's saying.
overworked, underpaid, burnt out people
Yeah.
just looking for a little excitement in their day, and the convenience of things like one-click purchase and buy now, pay later.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll tell some of the stuff she was saying because like that's also like when it comes to doing it like the way a lot of businesses are doing it, like the debt thing is huge. Like the first business that I had, I dealt with like the same problem where like I was worried about paying back the debt as well as like making sure that the products were like sourced efficiently and priced efficiently. Which was kind of difficult at first because I was basically for like the first, I want to say like 2 to 3 months selling at a loss. I don't think it was that long though. I don't think it was that long. But I was selling stuff at a loss just to like, you know, build up the portfolio, build up the like traction, build up like the just the heat around it, right? So that we could actually like have a customer base and people know who we are. And so like originally the price factor was like, okay, let's just worry about getting the sales first, and then we'll start to tweak it a little bit, and then we'll make it like more sustainable for the overall business model to be able to pay stuff back and all that. But like that's a huge problem with like a lot of businesses right now is like the debt factor, because it's like you're paying back all the investors, all the debt. It's not just like do good business, pay people, and make profit, right? It's like, okay, you do business, whether it's good or not, shady is now allowed. You barely have to pay people that much. Just make sure that they have something. And profit, because you're still paying back a lot of the money to the investors and everything. And then you got finally, paying back all the investors, all the debt and all that. And so that's like taking the bottom line and turning it into like a bottom dip. So it's not like a bottom line, because like the bottom line is like everything that the business needs to run. The bottom dip is all the dips from the debt and the investing that needs to be paid back. And that like leads to people to make more aggressive monetary gain tactics to like rip people off so that they can more efficiently like pay back the debt and maximize profit, which is upsetting. Because I don't like that. I'd prefer, honestly, like in a perfect world, people would just be able to do business well and keep the prices like fair for what they deem as fair, and actually serving the people that they're serving instead of just trying to squeeze as much money out of them as possible. Just like that's the aggressive business like thing nowadays, which is heavily popularized. But let's continue with the video.
You have a recipe for exploitation. And I hate to say it, but it's probably only going to get worse. But the good news is that you do have some control in all this.
Okay.
The only person who ultimately gets to decide how you spend your money is you. So unsubscribe from email lists that tempt you to buy garbage. Unfollow influencers who prey on your insecurities and try to make you feel like what you have isn't good enough. In fact, you know what? Spend less time on social media altogether. Try reading a book instead, or watching a movie, or listening to a full record front to back. Remember when that was a thing? Go for a walk. I don't know, whatever. When you do buy, Buy less, but
Stoic
better.
Nicole.
One really high quality sweater might cost as much as 10 fast fashion sweaters, but
High
it will last you
key.
forever. And I promise you
High
that no one needs
key.
10 polyester sweaters. And that you can live a tremendous life without ever placing an order on Temu. This one might be controversial,
key.
but
Now
stop
that's
tipping
like-
for things that aren't
Unless like, yeah, unless like obviously like for her, right? Like she doesn't need that because like, well, at least from what I see here, right? She's just like she's got her like plain Walmart t-shirt, just chilling, yapping. She's pretty smart, so that like she's not like, and she looks pretty good, right? So it's like that's what I'm guessing is like on brand for her, and it works because her content isn't based around being trendy and like fashionable and like how close she looks to an IG model. It's more based on like the stuff that she's saying, the research that goes into it, her actual like intellectual stake in the conversation. And so it's not built on a lot of like the external things, at least like what I'm looking at on the surface level. So like, yeah, 100% that works for her. But for a lot of people that are like trying to be like fashionistas on a budget or like trying to be on TikTok and all these different outfits and stuff, I can see why they want to do the fast fashion stuff, because like they're living a fast lifestyle. They don't need the longevity of the stuff technically. So not that I like fast fashion, but I guess it has its place.
sit down service. The more passive we all are about this, the more widespread it's going to become. This isn't really about the $2 extra at Starbucks. It's about the fact that it's not your responsibility to pay Starbucks employees for them, and making you coffee is not exceptional service, it's just their freaking job. And no, I'm not tipping you when you ring me up for the bagels that I bagged myself. For that matter, you know what? Learn to cook at home. You don't have to be the next Gordon Ramsay, but being able to feed yourself decently well is a basic life
Low-key.
skill that everyone should have.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
That's what
Let me know in the
most of
comments if
time.
you'd like to see a video with some easy, budget-friendly recipes. If you do get takeout,
Hey,
call the restaurant directly,
yeah.
place your order,
That's
and
what
go
I be
pick it
doing.
up. Screw DoorDash and their 300% markup. They're scamming you and the restaurant. Most importantly, just be aware of what's happening around you. As Jon Stewart likes to say, the best defense against bullshit is vigilance. If you smell something, say
I don't know
something.
who that is.
I love that guy. If you like this video, like
I
the
don't know who
video,
that is,
subscribe for
but,
more, follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to check out Delete Me at the link in the description
Yeah,
box down
W
below.
video, Nicole.
Use my code Nicole at checkout, you'll get 20%
I'll
off.
watch that.
Other than that, thank you guys so much as always for watching. Take care, and I'll see you next week.
Hey, that's what's up. W video, Nicole. Appreciate that. Let me know what y'all think. What do y'all think about the modern day grifts and all that? I'm surprised. I'm so surprised she didn't touch on like the gender wars and like all the dating course coaches and all that. I'm so surprised she didn't touch on that, because that's a huge thing. Huge thing. But hey, let me know what y'all think down in the comments. Go ahead and like, subscribe to Nicole. I'm gonna check out Nicole's stuff actually. See if we'll subscribe here. Let me see. I want to see what her other like subject matter is. I already saw some stuff, but I'm gonna do a little bit more digging. Let's look. We saw some stuff. And we're gonna go ahead and subscribe in a second. Videos, financial freedom, bait and switch marketing. Yep. Alright, yeah. I'll throw up the sub. Subscribed, yeah. Okay. Oh, Hardy did. Okay, bet. That's what I thought. Well, with that being said, let's get out of here, buddy. Alright. Bye.